Okay, so this is my video on Croatia. We've been back for a little bit, but I went ahead, like I've talked in my videos before, and I did a mixed book on it real quick to show some pictures. And I wanted to get all my information together before I started the video. I don't have my face in it because I think that's unnecessary at this point. But let's talk about some first things about Croatia. So, Croatia, a couple of reasons we picked it really quick. I don't know if you're interested, but we went on a trip with Disney. Love Disney. Adventures by Disney. Fantastic. If you want them to do everything for you, that is a great thing. A little expensive, and it's pretty stringent on time. So, when me and my husband and daughter talked about it, we wanted to do another trip, but we didn't want to be stringent on time. So we decided to do it ourselves. We actually saved a little bit of money, and we thought, why not see Croatia by water? Something a little different that we thought that we would really like. So again, I've said this on my other video, if you want to do a great way of keeping your pictures, I labeled mine on the iPhone under album Croatia 24. I edited them and got them the way I want them to look, and then I went to Mixbook and used my account there to make a small keepsake book. And when you do that, they're also online, and they look like this. So you can go to your projects later and pull them up, which is really kind of fun to do. So not only do you have it for keepsake on your dining room table or wherever you prefer to have it, but you can also send it to people and preview it this way. So this is a really cool way to look at your projects and keep them in a keepsake book. And then you just put your favorite pictures in there. It's my daughter and my husband very early in the morning because we drove to Dallas. So I'm going to talk a little bit about airfare and what I felt like I was proud of getting us the best airfare and the best route possible. So we had to do 3 legs for this trip. And so we drove to Dallas. It was about 3.5 hours. It wasn't terrible. And once we got to Dallas, we flew to Newark. I did all my reservations through American Airlines. And then the way I found this airline was through just searching. And they also use British Airlines, which is where we went from Newark, New Jersey to London, and then from London to Split. And we spent about $3,000 a piece. And I also purchased the American Airlines Admiral Club. You can get yourself a ticket because we had a 4-hour layover. Actually, I think it was a 6-hour layover. And we went there and spent 4 hours. My daughter did her homework. We had some delicious food. We rested. I think my husband slept. And then we went from London to Split, which wasn't a very lengthy flight. Now, I will tell you on that long flight from Newark to Heathrow, it's about a 9-hour flight. We got, and I researched this, but we got what they call Economy Plus. So Economy Plus was well worth it from New Jersey to Heathrow. I think I have a picture of the amenities, and I know you can't see a lot on here, but it was very roomy. We had our own TV. They gave us headphones. They gave us a little kit down here where you get toothpaste, deodorant, socks, pretty much everything you get in first class. And then we had a nice meal with wine and drinks. So for the price, I really think the Economy Plus is worth it. Again, we paid about $3,000 a person. total, and the Economy Plus. I would highly recommend that. And you can do other Google searches and you can look at other people's, preferences. Now, something else I did that you don't have to do, because I'm by no means recommending you get further in debt, but I did get an American Airlines credit card. I put all my purchases on that, so I could get upgrades and special things, vouchers. Really didn't get any vouchers, but we had a surprise on the way back. We got upgraded to business class, and so it had the lay down seats. We could sleep. Of course, it was the wrong day to do that because we traveled during the day, but my husband and child loved it. So those are things you can do too, is get a membership, and I think that's what really helped us on the way back, was doing that. Okay, so we chose a company, and I'm going to pull it up for you. They were called Fairwind Charting. So Fairwind is a company I actually found on TripAdvisor. They had many, many reviews. If you've never used TripAdvisor, I highly recommend it for food, lodging, everything. And so my initial email is what really sold me. I emailed the owner. Her name was Ivana, and she was really quick to respond to my emails. We talked about boat, we talked about cost. So, it was just a very good experience from the beginning. And I would tell you that I started emailing her like a year before my trip. So I really recommend any trip. I mean, maybe I'm kind of crazy, but any trip you're going to do, I recommend looking into it and giving yourself plenty of time. So found her on TripAdvisor. As you can see their page, I have 240 reviews. It's number 21. Just had a really good feel about it. My first email with her was very warm. As you can see, all excellent. You could probably find mine on here if you really want to scroll through here. It was really the best trip ever. I posted a lot of pictures because, again, I'm doing this to help other people. When you're talking about spending quite a bit of money, you really want to be happy and you don't want any hidden costs. And the crew literally was phenomenal. So my crew, it was really important for me to have a great experience. So Ivana is the owner, or the booking manager. Her and her husband actually own the company. Once I went through the website and did a inquiry, then she sent me an email. I gave her my dates, and then she gave me an example of a catamaran because we knew we wanted a catamaran. And so here are the costs. There's no hidden costs. The boat was 45, 60 euros. We did get a skipper. We've got to, unless you can crew your own boat. And if you can crew your own boat, they do require some certifications and things you have to send in. I really wanted a hostess because my last trip, if you saw the BVI, I loved it, but I really wished I'd had a hostess. And then here's the other cost. So it looks like a lot of money, and you might have turned my video off by now. But there was just 3 of us, and they have had, with 4 bedrooms, you can have up to 8 people. So a lot of people would do this and divide the cost by 8, and as you can see, it wouldn't be that bad. So you're talking $3,000 for flight, $1,000 for the boat, and then you got to think in some food. But if you get a hostess, the food is not included, but it really did help us. So we had breakfast and lunch every day. And she did all the grocery shopping for us. I don't know the exact amount of money we spent, but I want to say we spent for provisions around $500. Breakfast and lunch every day, and then she was fantastic. My hostess, which I'll tell you her first name was Gloria, she was fantastic. And she gave us a bunch of recommendations once we went to each island. And she was by far my favorite person in this trip. So highly recommend this company. And I think that made our trip just that much more special. Okay, so we got a taxi to Split ACI Marina. Got there a little early. Check-in is like most hotels, you know, between 3 and 4. So we walked somewhere and had something to eat. We met with them for a few minutes to go over last minute things. Now, I had paid about a $4,000 deposit, so didn't have to settle up money, except we did have to pay Gloria back for the groceries. So that was all we had to do. And then we left our stuff in the office, and thought I had a picture of the office. If you go back to my TripAdvisor, you'll see the picture of the office. We felt safe leaving our things at the office. This was our boat, and this is Ivana and her husband, and we really felt safe leaving our things in the office, and we went and found a restaurant nearby to have like a later lunch. Now, they do have a place for you to get euros there, but it's highly recommended you get your euros in the United States. It's cheaper. You don't have to pay transfer fees. Think of it like an ATM. Every time you get a withdrawal in another country, you have to pay that fee. We used credit card in most places. I used my American Airlines credit card, and most places took it. I will, if I have pictures, I will talk about one place that didn't take credit cards. So around 3 or 4, we were able to get on to the boat, and we took a small trip to Melina. And Melina was one of my favorite places. It took us about 2 hours. Now, I forgot to say my bag got lost, and so we hopped out to swim, and I had to swim in my underwear, but it was okay. It was beautiful. The water was clear. It was warm. Again, we went in July, so it was very warm. But Melina was wonderful, spectacular. We had a dinner at a place called Palma, Palma. It was delicious. I had the fresh ceviche and a glass of wine. And then at the marina we stayed at, which a lot of times you stay at a marina, they had showers and hot water to shower instead of having to shower on the boat. So it's a little bit like camping. My family and I are very familiar with it, so we liked it. And here's a picture of Katie as we go to dinner. This is the marina. The bathrooms are over here to the right. Our boat was docked here, and then she's heading towards the restaurant. So it was a beautiful area. There's the sun setting and my husband. This was a bakery. This is actually the next day. We got up and we had breakfast that Gloria had fixed us. We had a continental breakfast every morning, which is what we love. And so it was fresh fruit, yogurt, coffee, granola, and then we went to town. We visited a bakery. Of course, we wanted to get a few items that they're known for in Croatia. So we had a donut, we had some more coffee, and then we did some shopping and took some pictures. It was just a gorgeous place. You can see my daughter loved taking the pictures. So later that afternoon, we packed up and we went to Vis. Again, it was about a 2-hour boat ride. They did find my bag, which made me happy, but we planned to pick it up, not in Vis, but in a different area, because they have a daily passenger shuttle that not only takes people but small cars, and so we set up to do that, not in Vis, but the next stop. We swam halfway to Vis, and then had a mushroom risotto for lunch. It was delicious. And we were actually able to sail this day. We put our sails out, and it was just so beautiful. Gloria helped me make dinner reservations. in Vis. Now, Vis is where they're known for Mamma Mia. They filmed it there, and so it was kind of fun to be there. And that evening, they made us an appointment. Well, dinner was at, I believe it's called Magic, but it's not spelled Magic. And it's a family-owned winery. And they also named it off after their donkey. So there was a name with the donkey, and I'm thinking it was spelled kind of like this. And it was quite a walk, and I will tell you, they had their own wine. It was delicious, but there was no cell service there. We kept our boat on a mooring ball, not a marina. Mooring balls are cheaper. They're about $50 versus $200, but there's not a marina to shower in. So our boat was just kind of sitting out here. And so we had to take a cab to this winery, no internet. So we had to use cash. They couldn't take credit cards because there's no internet. But the meal was great. And they do this meal, which is, I don't know if I'm going to do it justice, but we had like their form of a charcuterie board, but it was mainly fig jam, sardines, and cheese and dates. And then we had to order ahead this meal they're famous for, and they cook it on coals, and it was really good, and you share it. So we did get back, and then, you know, we were tired. So this is us the next day in Vis. We went shopping. We saw a theater where they show Mamma Mia all the time. Got a little bit of sun shopping, sunglasses, ice cream, just the touristy thing to do. And then we loaded back up to go to Hvar. So Hvar is another part of Croatia. And of course, I have to show off my daughter because she's just so beautiful. First, this is actually a dinner picture. What we did first is we got to Hvar after, you know, having a nice lunch on the boat. I don't have in my notes how long it took us, but most islands took anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. It was pretty fast. And so when we first got there, we parked against one of these, it's more of a mooring ball here. There was a marina, but we did not go to the marina. And so back in this area, there's a walkway to a swimming hole. So we went to the swimming hole first. It is a party place. It was really cool to experience, but a lot of young people, party, party, party. We didn't stay that long. And we actually showered and got cleaned up on the boat for dinner. And this is a picture of my daughter as we headed to dinner. We went to a really nice restaurant. And speaking of reservations, Gloria would just make it like the day before, and we did good with that. So we didn't have any trouble not being able to get a reservation, I guess, like I did at BVI. So this is us on the way to dinner. It's a very beautiful restaurant. Here's my daughter by the water. The swimming hole's over here to the right, and it was just gorgeous area. And I did have some cuttlefish risotto, and it was good, but I'm not a fan of cuttlefish, I don't think. But it was still good, and you know, I recommend their food there. So I didn't have anything I didn't like. The next day, we just took our little dinghy from our boat around the other side of the island of Hvar, and we went shopping and seeing the city highlights of Hvar. And this is when I got my bag back, so I was really happy. And we went to a castle. It was gorgeous. I can't remember the name of the castle or the fortress. I'm not sure if I have it in my pictures. I love history, but I have a hard time writing things down. But you walked up this giant hill, which was good. We needed some exercise. And then you get to go into the fortress or castle, however you want to word it. And it was fun. There was a little history. There was a lot of fun guns and prisons to see, and I don't know, it's just fun to see things like that. This castle, it cost 10 euros to get in. It was really cheap, had a little cafe, so not expensive, but again, a nice walk, nice exercise, a good thing for us to do. that day, and it was really hot. I mean, you can wear shorts in a tank for sure. There's my bag. My bag showed up finally. This is that big boat I'm talking about. And then we were heading to Verboska. Now, I was most excited about Verboska. They call this Little Italy, or Little Venice, excuse me, and it is just the cutest little place. Before we got there, again, we stopped and we snorkeled about halfway. We had lunch. She made some shrimp and pasta. We actually napped a little bit. I missed the entry of Verboska because I was asleep. And she made us a reservation for wine tasting at 6, and then we had dinner that I actually made dinner reservations ahead of time at a family-owned restaurant that I really wanted to go to. And we invited Garan and Gloria to come with us, and that was probably our favorite meal we had on the trip. So here's the winery we went to. It was really fantastic. The wine tasting was fun. We were the only ones in there. We tried 5 wines, and we paired it for fun with chocolate. We usually paired it with meats and cheeses, but we thought it'd be fun to do it with chocolate. And there's a picture of all the chocolates and the different wines. We actually ordered a really good Pinot Noir, and it was shipped to us, I don't know, less than a month later we received it. So it was pretty easy to get that wine. And then here's a picture of it. It's gorgeous. Markets. We had fun going to an old church. We shopped around a little bit. And then I had dinner reservations at Bonaca, Bonaca. There's Katie on the top. It was 2 levels. Mom and Dad own it. They cook. Their kids also help them. Our waiter was the son-in-law, their daughter's husband. We had the Mediterranean cuisine there. We had another Pinot, and we had beef fillet with truffles and veggies. It was so good, and probably my best meal, I would say, of the trip. Also, I want to say this marina was wonderful. Hot showers. We got our clothes washed. This is halfway mark, so we got our clothes washed and dried. And we got a few groceries. So the next day we go to Stari Grad. We went to, this is a cool area. I would think young people would like Stari Grad. I liked it, and it wasn't too busy. But it wasn't like Hvar, but it was still pretty commercialized. Where we parked, which our boats are over here to the left, people just walking by. So it was a pretty popular area. At night, this is evening time that we got there. We did get an iced coffee, but as you walk towards the town right in here, there's all these little cafes, and so that was really fun to see all the cafes. And so what we first did is we did go to this museum where I got to see the mosaic floor of Jesus' time. We got to walk through a poet's home, which was really interesting. The museum was a Russian and biblical time type items. It was just really fun to see these old shops and these old, artifacts, paintings. And there's Katie as we were going to these museums. How much did it cost to get the museum? I really can't remember. I'm thinking, and I didn't write it in my notes, but nothing was over expensive, I can tell you that. So, Stari Grad, if I'd had one more place to have an extra day, I would have stayed there, I think. For dinner, we just had some pizza and watched people listen to music that they were playing on the square and had some wine. And then again, we woke up, we had a continental breakfast by Gloria, and then we headed to our last stop, which was Supatar. And we did a mooring ball here. We gotten pretty good at the mooring ball, so we kind of picked those over the marinas because it's a little more inexpensive. We didn't feel like we were spending too much money. We got here again, we stopped and swam and snorkeled, and we got here about sunset time, actually. And we went straight to the restaurant right here, Canova. It was really good. because it was after dinner that we walked around. We had violinists out there. We had a little bit of gelato. This is on the island of Barac, B-R-A-C. And the dinner was great. The atmosphere was beautiful. And this is the latest we stayed up was in Supatar. And there you can see my boat. 2 pictures of the boat. I just loved it. It was just so beautiful. Really